Good morning and welcome to Wednesday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And we'll give it a minute here until the practical rebels start popping into the house. So, hope you're all off to a great start to this week. Man, yesterday, everybody was having it jump off. I was running from one client to another, trying to support and edify and um, all the things. So I feel like this is all part of the process. Some things have to uh, break down before other things can show up. So, and that kind of fits with today's title, which is Nothing is Wasted. Nothing is wasted. So we have a card from a deck we haven't seen in quite some time. And again, I use the decks as sort of a jumping off point. Looks like we have two people here. Good morning, Abigail. Welcome. Glad you are here. Looks like someone else is here as well, but name isn't popping up yet. So we'll give it a minute. And it looks like comments aren't rolling on the page either. So let's see if we can modify that. Me and this technology. Every day I feel like I learn something new, something that's useful, but there it is. I knew it was on here. Show comments on page. Good morning, Mel. Welcome. Glad you're here. So we have the UP in the house and we have the South in the house. So fabulous. We'll give it a minute for others to pop on, but just want to say that all of the things that were falling apart for people yesterday, someone who lost a front tooth, someone who had a relationship end unexpectedly. Good morning, Beth. Welcome. Glad you're here. Um, let's see, what else was there? Someone who decided to go to work with a broken leg, and that wasn't the greatest choice. Yeah, someone who washed her cell phone. Yeah, it was just all kinds of stuff going on. But again, it feels to me, I said to one of those people that I felt sorry for people who don't understand that the belching, wheezing, and coughing that's going on right now is serving a higher purpose. It's serving a higher purpose, in my opinion. You can totally disagree with me. That is fine. But I feel like it's also easier to navigate these times when we come from a perspective that this can make sense at some point. We may not see how it makes sense yet, but this can make sense at some point. Good morning to whomever else just popped on. Um, yeah, and I adjusted my lighting. I feel like every time I go live, something else gets taken care of. Good morning, Nancy. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So let's see. Card deck. Good morning, Barb. Hello, welcome. Glad you are here. So we've got a lot of Yoopers in the house and a couple of Southerners. That's awesome. My West Coast contingent hasn't popped in yet, but maybe as we go forward. So our card deck for today is a little pocket deck, Colette Baron Reed, and it is the Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle deck. And I just think it's a cool little deck. The only issue is these little bitty books and my eyesight. Good morning, Joe Neal. Good morning, Angie. Glad you're all here. Awesome, awesome. So we'll check this one out, see what you think. Put some comments in the feed. I love this card too. I don't know if you all knew this, but actually, this was considered to be our nation's bird at one point. The vulture. The vulture. And there's a creature in the UP called a turkey vulture, which my friend calls a peace eagle because she says turkey vulture just gives it such a bad rep. But it says vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. And when I think back on my ancestors, nothing was wasted. The farm roots that I have, there was head cheese, they ate tongue, all the things. My father did not enjoy eating tongue. He said, I don't want to taste it while it's tasting me. But nonetheless, they were very frugal about all of the things that they had for resources. Nowadays, we're not so much. Our landfills are looking like, yeah, we are rather wasteful. So we need to work on that. We need to work on that. So, turkey vulture, vulture spirit, Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. Let's see what it says. First, though, can't forget this. Let's do a little tapping and a little breathing. Pick your spot. Breathing in through the nose. Yes, waste not, want not. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. I also find when I buy used items that are of a certain era, I get much better quality stuff. That's okay, I'm going to complain here about Goodwill. That's one of my complaints about Goodwill and why I tend not to shop there anymore. They've lost sight of who they are. They were a place that did resale. They were a place that offered clothing and household items and all the things for people who couldn't afford new. Now what do? Truck in the cheap junk that nobody really wants or needs, and you can't find the stuff we're there to look for. So I much prefer going to Vinnie's because they're still true to their origins. I want to show you the back of this card as well. It's a beautiful mandala. And it makes me smile when I look at that one. So nice deep breath in, everybody. Let it go. Here's our card. Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. The message. What seems hideous has its own beauty. And the recycling the vulture does is as important as any other activity in nature that supports the cycle of life. And I will say, the vulture gets a bad rep for that, being the carcass eater. However, where do you find the greatest concentration of eagles, that bastion of American spirit, blah, blah, at the landfill? So, yeah. Vulture Spirit's message is that nothing is to be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. I have a friend, Carol, who at one point took something that she saw as hideous, trapping animals, and did a photo shoot when they were doing an event where they were teaching kids how to trap. And she did a photo shoot there in an attempt to try to work through her feelings about that. She's actually been doing a significant degree of photography since 2016. Devastated by some things that happened in 2016. I'll let you figure out what. And decided she needed to go find the beauty in life. She has an eye for, the things she takes pictures of. There's one image that sticks in my mind. There's an old broken down shack in a field at one place, and she went up to it just to see, and in through the window on an old wooden broken down kind of table were all of these scratch off cards. So she took a picture through the window. You can see the wood around the frame. You can see the window. You can see the broken down room. You can see all of these scratch off cards. And I think she called it hope. I thought that was quite interesting. So back to our card. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial. So what if we took that perspective? What if we adjusted our lenses? We always talk about our glasses, and do we have rose-colored glasses, clear lenses, or shit-colored glasses? What are we seeing, and could we adjust this to see something in a clearer light? How might this seemingly horrible thing end up being beneficial? If we're going to endure this anyway, how can we reframe it so that we can come out the chute with a positive intention for it, turn it into something useful? You are reminded that any suffering you have experienced has not gone to waste. Wisdom and understanding that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. I think about the people I know who are the deepest people, the ones who can do a deep dive into the meaning of things. It's the people who've been through hell, right? You want to get a deep group of folks, hang around people who have been in AA for years and years and years. Oftentimes they've got a different perspective born out of their pain. All that you might wish to deny or discard has value and can be repurposed and reintegrated into the new you that you are becoming and the new life that you are dreaming into being. That's what's being created right now, a new life. People are getting to the point where they're more willing to go deep. I always say back in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was first beginning to teach some of these concepts, it was like talking to a brick wall. People weren't getting it. They couldn't quite figure out what I was trying to teach them. Now, even if people reject it, even if they're like, that's garbage, that's, woke new age stuff, they can at least grab the concept. They may reject it, but they can at least grab the concept. So we have changed over time. We have changed. So I'm going to read that sentence again because I like that one. All that you might wish to deny or discard has value and can be repurposed and reintegrated into the new you that you are becoming and the new life that you are dreaming into being. No pain was in vain, and no experience was wasted for you have the power to use it to co create something far better. This is the miracle in your partnership with Spirit. So, one of the things you can also do is appeal to Spirit. Okay, I'm not getting this. Need some help here. Can you send me a sign? Can you show me the way? Can you give me an insight? And there's ways to, I call it the cheesy thing that I do is called the next three things. So you pose your question to the universe. What do you want me to do here with whatever circumstance you have? And pay attention to the next three things that grab your attention. Might be a song on the radio, might be a billboard, a bumper sticker, what someone says as they walk past you. Your answer will be there. And for those who are like, that's all hocus pocus and hooey, let me tell you something. What, at the very least, what it is your intuitive self already knowing the answer. And when you put yourself on alert to pay attention as you're scanning your environment, the things that are actually going to jump at you are the things that align with that internal lens. So let me give you an example. Knew someone who was a client who was trying to decide whether to stay in her marriage or leave for someone she had met on the internet. Now, most of us on the outside looking in could say, well, that's a no brainer. But to the person who's in the middle of whatever decision it is, it may not be that easy. So I taught her the next three things idea. And as she was leaving the session, 20 minutes down the road, she gave me a call and she's like, you are not going to believe this. The internet person would have meant moving to a different state. She said, I drove past this billboard and it says work, live, and play in Wisconsin. There was her answer. There was her answer. Now, are there 8,000 other billboards along that highway? You betcha. That's the one that grabbed her attention. That's the one that her filters were ready to see. So we can do that. Human beings can be complicated, or we make things complicated, right? We're really good at that. So sometimes we have to get over ourselves, get past ourselves, get around ourselves. And some of you may be finding some of that right now. Like I had one of those days the other day where it was just like 11 in the morning. I never nap. 11 in the morning, I could not stay awake. I could not stay awake. So I went and laid down for an hour and 15 minutes, I think. And my thought when I got back up was, I had to get out of the way. My conscious mind had to get out of the way so that whatever was needing to filter in could do so. So you may find that and right now, given the energy that's going on, you may find that happens here and there. So here's the protection message. Do you wish you could run away from your past or deny your mistakes? You can do a simple yes or no. For those of you who said yes, not so fast, says Vulture Spirit. You have gained something valuable from that experience. Let your grief or anger move through you, and soon your emotions will transform. For you will come to see that what you have learned and that you have grown. The alchemy of transformation is a gift from Spirit. So never disown what embarrasses, disappoints, or shames you. It will soon be a source of great wisdom and strength as you work with the magic that allows miracles to be created out of sadness and beauty to arise from ugliness. Vulture Spirit wants you to know that you embody beauty and that the alchemical transformation of the past is happening already. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hang in there. You are so loved, and so much beauty is waiting to come out of all of this. So, when it's a messy, messy circumstance, when it's a painful circumstance, call in Vulture Spirit. Help me clean this up. Please help me clean this up. Let nothing be wasted. Let me learn what I'm meant to learn from this tragedy, disaster, travesty, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Are you ready to learn from whatever is unfolding in your life? If yes, step into that curious observer. If no, take some time with yourself. What do I need in order to be ready? In order to be ready. So, I feel like today would be a great day for us to go over our principles from when we did the invocation of divine right timing and divine right order. So, repeat after me if you will. Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. Thank you to Tosha Silver for those amazing words. Hope that helps set you off on a good uh, path today. And as Barb says, sometimes you don't know what you know until you look back. Absolutely so. And taking the time to look back is so important. Many of us are running at such a pace that we lose the perspective of learning from our past. Take some time to slow down. Stroll through the park. Don't speed past in your car. Okay? Have an awesome Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye bye.